Minister, thank you for joining me. Do you agree with Boris Johnson's assessment that this is the death knell for coal?
Not necessarily, because not only are their government, but our government, the Biden administration, are all investing in technology called carbon capture storage. We're making significant investments along with the private sector around trying to create technology that will reduce emissions. And if you get back to first principles is about reducing emissions. If you do that, whether it be with coal-fired power stations or with gas-fired power stations, then who cares? It's a good thing. And particularly when much of the developing world is relying on that to create their energy. If they can take up and adopt the technology that we're investing in, that's a good thing, and we've reduced emissions. So I think we need to get back to those first principles rather than demonising one industry over the other, and that's why we've taken a technology approach rather than a blank cheque approach, and not mandate it, and let industry and technology let us meet our commitments rather than mandating them.
Okay, but the government's own net zero modelling predicted that the value of coal production will halve by 2050. Do you now need to be realistic and tell regional communities that that is the future?
Well, we are, and we're saying that unless we invest in that technology now, they may not have jobs beyond 2030, 40 and 50, and we're still yet to see the other mob's plan and what they intend to do in terms of mandating and legislating. That's the dangerous thing. We're not going to tell people what to do, we're going to put the environment around them to choose, and by doing that, we've already met our international commitment with Kyoto and Paris, and what we're saying is that technology investment, leveraging off private sector dollars, will get us there, and invariably, if that technology is adopted by many of our customers in India and around the world, then obviously we'll still see some industry of some scale into the future.
You talk about new technology. There's been a lot of discussion about Australia taking a more ambitious target now to 2030. Is there room, in your opinion, to adjust targets when it comes to 2030 to include this new technology?
No, you don't change the goalpost during a game of football. Well, what you try to do is continue to score goals, and that's what we're doing. We're not just going to meet and beat that 26-28% reduction. We're going to go probably to 35% and beyond, and that's why we're saying the target that we've put is one that we're committed to, but we're going well beyond that because of the investment in technology and the smarts of the 21st century in achieving more than that, scoring more goals. So that's what we've done. We've got a proud record of that, and I think what the world has to understand is that the many countries around the world, we're one of the few that are going to meet our Paris commitment. We're one of the few that are reducing emissions and gone negative rather than just bringing them down from still being in positive territory. So this is where we've got to get some reality brought back into this conversation and be proud of what Australia's done and what we're going to do in backing technology and science rather than mandating people out of jobs.
The Climate Pact fast-tracked the timeline for scaling up action, though. Nations have been requested to strengthen the 2030 targets in a year. Are you saying that the Nationals won't agree to that?
Well, the government's made it clear. We've already made a commitment to the world, which we will meet and we will beat. But that's not stopping us going beyond, because we're not mandating or legislating. We're actually putting the environment around business and industry and people to do it themselves, whether it be from rooftop solar that was subsidised heavily to start with, or whether it's the new technology that we're investing in today. What we're saying is we believe that Australian people and industry will do the work so long as we work together. You leverage the Australian taxpayer dollar with investment dollar, and the job will get done. We've got a proud record of that.
Will
Beating Paris.
Will the Nationals agree, though, to a scaled-up target within 12 months?
No, there's no need to. We've made our commitment and we're going to beat it. So even the Prime Minister's made it clear that this is our commitment to the world. We're going to meet it, we're going to beat it, but we're going to continue on scoring goals. We're going to kick as many goals as we possibly can till 2030 and beyond, and we'll keep scoring. And that's what's got us to meet all our international commitments in the past, and we should be damn proud of that.
I just want to ask you, Minister, about seasonal workers. The Greens are proposing changes to the New South Wales modern slavery legislation. They want the Anti-Slavery Commissioner to be given power to investigate the exploitation of seasonal workers. Would you support this?
Well, they're a bit late. The Attorney-General has already been working with her state counterparts in making sure that we have mirroring legislation in protecting international workers from exploitation, making sure that we also bring in legislation around regulating those labour hire companies and making sure that they do the right thing and increasing the penalties. So, look, we're all for making sure that people aren't exploited, and we're doing the work, and the Attorney-General, Michaelia Cash, has already started that work, as has Alex Hawke, who intends to have legislation in before the end of the year to increase penalties. So much of that work's already started. We believe that we can stop this exploitation, but can I just say that please be careful not to generalise and demonise all Australian farmers. There is a very small cohort, like any industry, that do the wrong thing, and our job is to weed them out. They are a cancer that need to be cut out and removed, and that's what we intend to do. But by large tracts of numbers of farmers, they do the right thing, and they shouldn't be demonised by unions or anyone else.
David Littleproud, we have to leave it there. Thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.